Sup, gang? Welcome back to I Didn't Ask for Yappuccino. I'm refilming this intro because I just don't feel like the intro I did a couple seconds ago was good enough. I sounded a little weird. I'm trying to get better at like my delivery when it comes to like my statements in these YouTube videos, just because I feel like based on my last video, like all the edits I made, I was just saying a bunch of like ungrammatical, is it ingrammatical or ungrammatical? I'm not sure like the correct way to say that, but like I was just saying a lot of statements that were just like not grammatically correct whatsoever, and I'm a little concerned that's the actual way I talk, so I'm trying to get better at like speaking. Also, did you guys know that it's not anyways, it's anyway? That's the grammatically correct way to say it. But like literally every video that I've made so far, I've been saying anyways instead of anyway, so that's kind of bothering me. But anyway, you know, because we said anyway. Anyway, oh my gosh, I keep saying that. Before we delve into today's video, I just wanted to give a little update on kind of what I've been up to after I filmed and edited my last video. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you guys for the 5 views that I got. I'm pretty sure those views weren't for me, so I'm glad that I'm starting to like get an audience on YouTube, and I hope that we can further grow that some more. Anyway, see how we're saying it grammatically correct? That was someone's car. How disrespectful. I'm filming a video, what the heck. Anyway, so I've been getting into shows lately because I'm on break and I really want to start watching shows before I go back to school. On that note, I literally start school in a week. What? Like, I don't get... Is that? Oh, just the curtain messing me up. I literally start school in a week. I was hit with that realization yesterday, and it's just like, 1 week? Has the break already gone by so quickly? I don't think it's been much of a break, to be honest. I've been doing a lot of things. Haven't really had the time to just chillax. But this week I'm definitely going to chillax, and I hope that time just goes by slowly so I can really savor my break, because I didn't really do that this break, and I'm kind of sad that it's coming to a close, because as much as it's necessary for me to go back to school, I don't want to, but I know I have to. But yeah, I have to go to school in 1 week, which doesn't make sense. Literally New Year's is next week. I need like 2 weeks to recover from New Year's, because I just need to process the fact that we're in the new year and that the 2024 just went by so quickly. And the fact that I have to already go back to school is just like, come on now. It just isn't fair. Anyways, so like I mentioned, I've been watching shows. I finished the last season of Dragon Prince. If you guys are into Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, you guys are definitely going to like the Dragon Prince. Did I just say Dragon Prince? Yeah. I finished the last season of that. It's pretty good. This is a little out of left field, but I got this like video on my TikTok reminding me of LPS Popular, like the existence of that, and I remember watching that as a kid, but I don't remember finishing it, and I recently just like binged all of it. I definitely recommend you do that if you watched it as a kid, because it's like, it really takes you down memory lane and it's really nostalgic. And honestly, it's really deep. I don't think I understood how like deep the dialogue was, but now that I'm like an adult and like more grown up, I really understand like the whole consensus of the story, and it's just like a lot deeper than I remember. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys get into that. But I recently started a new anime called Dororo. I'm like halfway through it. It's really good. This one's also kind of similar to like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like you guys may disagree with me or not, but yeah, those are the shows I've been delving into. Anyways, let's delve in to this video. We're going to be reading some holiday stories / confessions that I found on Reddit. It took me like a solid 20 minutes to find these submissions, I mean. Also, I'm using like a selfie stick stand for like this setup, and I just feel really professional using it. I'm just like, it's so useful and like nifty. But yeah, I took these confession screenshots on my iPad just because I edit on my iPad. I don't know why I haven't done this before with like my previous videos, because in my previous videos I pulled up the confessions on my computer and then I would take a picture of it on my phone to edit it into my video, and you could really see that glare of just like me taking it. Come on now. But yeah, we have it on my iPad. Let's delve into the first story. My entire family went over to my cousin's for Christmas. My mom came up with the idea of having a white elephant party thing while we were there. She thought of it after her office did the same thing. What was awkward was that she provided all the gifts. What's more awkward was that, being Chinese, my mom didn't provide the usually Christmas type gifts. She provided a huge candy cane, sun-dried tomatoes, can't remember what else. I kind of don't understand, but we'll just move on. Next confession. I couldn't tell you the exact year, but my sister probably could. She asked for a specific doll, but for Christmas, and my poor mother managed to get the exact one she wanted for me. To add insult, my older sibling all pitched in. One brother brought some accessories, one brother made a rocking cradle in wood shop, and one sister made a bedding set in home ec. I had a great Christmas that year. My dear sister did not. That's so mean. Why didn't you guys get anything that your sister wanted for Christmas? I feel like, isn't that the whole point of Christmas? You get the things that you want and ask for. That's so mean. Like, what? Was she naughty that year? No clue. Next story. When I was quite young, we had a family dog. She was beautiful, sweet, and clever. I loved her more than I have loved anything in my entire life. We got her when I was about 2, and we had grown up together. Her crowning moment was when she was about 7. On Thanksgiving Day, she nuzzled open the refrigerator and pulled down the turkey. She then proceeded to have her own feast for quite some time before she was discovered. We had salmon that Thanksgiving. See, I'm an animal lover, so I approve. I'm not sure if it's healthy for dogs to like eat Thanksgiving, especially with like all that seasoning, but I know she had a great Thanksgiving that year, so rooting for her. That was 13 years ago. Dang, that was quick maths right now. 2011? No. Oh my gosh, I'm dumb. That was...
Yeah, 2011, right? 2018. Come on, man. 2018 minus 11. 2011?
Okay, I need to go back to math. Anyways, next story. My brother received an extra large jar of Nutella for Xmas, and my dad received a framed picture of the family from me. My dad tried to hammer a nail into the wall to hang the picture. Was the can of Nutella. I'm so confused. How do you hang up a can of Nutella? Why would you do that? What? I'm so confused. With the shattered plastic jar leaving a brown stain on the wall. He also dropped the picture frame and shattered the glass. This man is also an orthopedic surgeon. I'm confused by this story. Next one. My sister and I stayed up really late Christmas Eve. We removed all of our youngest brother's presents from under the tree. We emptied his stocking. We stowed all the presents behind the couch. We put all of his stocking stuffers in a bag. He was like 8 years old. We meticulously wrapped and put bows on boxes to him. Put bows on boxes to him. What does that mean? We filled them with charcoal briquettes and Q-tips. I can't remember why we chose Q-tips. What is charcoal briquettes? You mean like coal? I guess. On Christmas morning, he got to go first because he was the youngest. He tore into his first box and then his face just dropped. He went out of turn and ripped open present number 2, also coal and Q-tips. He ran into the other room where the stockings were and dumped his out. It was a plastic bag filled with charcoal and Q-tips. He lost it. My parents had no idea what we had done. I think my dad was ready to just beat us for ruining Christmas. That's a little crazy. So my brother finally got it together and we showed him where we stashed all his toys and where we put his stocking contents. He was happy as heck after that. To this day, probably 25 years later, I still get called the Christmas Grinch by my whole family. Everyone eventually conveniently forgets how complicit, is that right? Complicit my sister was in this. Those presents didn't wrap themselves, and I suck at wrapping. I get it, mischievous kids, they do a lot of things that, like, in spite of their siblings and whatnot, but this is kind of mean. But I guess you guys showed him, his presents afterwards, so it all worked out for the best, I guess. It's a prank, so it's not that deep, Next confession. This one is big, so let's reposition ourselves to delve into it. When I was like 6 years old, we were invited to spend Christmas with my father's grandma's family. She lived in a small town far from the main city. The thing is that my dad were on a business trip, so he couldn't drove us to my grandma's house for the Christmas dinner. He'll eventually get there 2 days later. So my mom got the task to get us there on her own. Back then, Google Maps weren't a thing and cell phones were an expensive thing to have, so we rely on paper maps and my mom's own sense of orientation. Somehow we got to arrive to the town, but the funny part comes when we needed to find my grandma's house. After 4 hours or so, we arrived at a house all lightened up with Christmas lights and people. So I don't know why my mom think that this house was the one we were looking for. Maybe it's a little late to tell you this, but we are from Mexico and all people here are kind of friendly, especially when it comes to parties and celebrations. After we arrived to this house, some old lady came out to meet us and tell us they were waiting for us. So we got in and start talking and eating with the people in this house. The lady didn't even ask our names or anything. She just greeted us in. After some hours, another family arrived and they apologized to everyone for being late, and everyone was like, "Who are you?" Well, it turns out that they were the real family that the old lady was waiting for. That wasn't our grandma's house or family. After some explanation, we all felt so dumb about it. We got to stay a little longer, laughing about the situation. Later on, we got some indications to get us to the correct location. They exchanged with us some addresses and politely invited us to spend the next Christmas with them as well. Finally, now at our grandma's house, when we arrived, she was like so freaked out that we weren't arriving. Even so, she called the local police asking if there wasn't any car accidents involving us. Next day, when my dad arrived, we all laughed about it and we apologized for the inconvenience. Wow, that is quite the story, you know? 4 hours of just like trying to find your grandma's house? That must have been like a huge neighborhood or something. But yeah, because cell phones didn't exist, I completely get it. And with the whole like Google Maps not being a thing, yeah, I feel like we take that a lot for granted, like just Google Maps and like that sense of direction, because it's like before that, everyone just had to rely on memory. Next confession. A few years ago on Thanksgiving, we were cooking the main meal at our house, of course. This was the year that my mother had had a stroke but refused to believe or act like someone who just had a stroke. So as I'm pulling the turkey out to baste it, she runs over to baste it herself and kind of bumps into me, and of course I bumped into the turkey that was in the oven on an aluminum tray, and half the turkey juice goes spilling into the oven. I try my best to wipe up the grease, but the oven is hot as fudge, and I'm trying to do it before the oven cools off too much. I closed the oven and didn't give it much thought. A few minutes later, the house starts filling up with smoke. I try to get the kids out. I open all the doors and windows, and I go and check out the turkey. When I open the oven door, a ball of fire shoots out of it, and luckily did not burn me. LOL. All the adults starts panicking, of course, and running around, not actually being helpful whatsoever. Meanwhile, I'm trying to put out the fire, rescue the turkey, and get the oven turned off. Thankfully, I managed to get everything put out, and I ended up having to scrub out the oven just as soon as it cold enough for me to do so. Then the turkey had to go back in the oven, and the dinner was a little late. We still pulled it together. Nobody has let me forget the fireball ever since. Every Thanksgiving they say, "So should we bring the fire extinguishers along with us?" or similar comments. Wow, that is crazy. That is like some really bad luck, but I'm really glad that you're okay and whatnot. Next confession. A few years ago, we let the kids open their gifts early. We took pictures of the whole thing, only to forget that gifts from their grandfather were mixed in, and he wanted to see it all on webcam on Christmas. So our entire day was spent retrieving boxes from the bags of Christmas garbage, attempting to repackage everything and then rewrapping it all. One of the gifts had a completely destroyed package, so our daughter just opened the top, ripped the toy out, and threw the package, still wrapped mostly to the side, as fast as possible. It was hilarious seeing them trying to act all surprised again when they knew exactly what everything was. Aw, that's kind of cute. Next confession. Mine is an embarrassing story from childhood that honestly sounds like something out of a sitcom. I was in elementary school, can't remember what age at this point, and we had one of those holiday performances. We did some impressions of teachers as part of the performance, and I got to pretend to be my beloved teacher at the time. My mom let me borrow some of her clothes because it was the 90s, and they both had the classic 90s teacher's style, and she just pinned everything to me. Well, I walk out on stage, and the pins pop out and my pants fall down. I was wearing some layers, so fortunately I wasn't totally in my underwear, but the act of the pants falling wasn't enough. As an elementary kid, it was absolutely mortifying, but as an adult, it just cracks me up. That's so sad. Like, I have a lot of stage fright, so imagine like something going wrong and it's like a wardrobe malfunction and just your clothes fall down. That's kind of sad. Let's get into this last confession. Ghost of embarrassing Christmas future. Last year, my spouse and I's combo friend group did a Yankee swap instead of our usual assigned Secret Santa. I loved it. I loved the random chance, the game of taking someone's gift and getting silly things. I asked if we were going to do Yankee swap again this year. Everyone was in. Someone suggested a theme, socks. Cool. I ordered the most ridiculous socks I could think of for the pile. Socks with my spouse's face on them, making a goofy face. Turns out some of my friends saw Yankee swaps as a mere synonym for Secret Santa and went ahead with assigning Secret Santas through a website. Instead of a random pile I was expecting, now there were organized sock styles I like lists. Boo. Giving someone specific socks with my spouse's face on them feels less fun than randomly getting socks with his face on them and swapping them away. Okay, true. Now one of our friends, who I've determined will laugh the most if he gets these face socks, will get an extra pair of socks for Christmas. He is neither of our Secret Santa, but he will have one more absurd gift to open. This is what I get for A, not pushing back and clarifying what I meant Yankee swap your name, and B, getting excited and ordering gifts way too early. I kind of don't get it, but I feel like it would be really hilarious if someone like got a random pair of socks for Christmas of like someone's face on them. Anyway, that wraps this video up. I hope you guys found these stories enjoyable, but I hope you guys are having a great holiday, and I hope you guys are gonna have a good year. I feel like we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves during the new year and like the start of the new year when that comes around, because we want to get like a lot of things done. We're determined for like we set a lot of goals for ourselves to accomplish, and I just want you guys to kind of take it easy this year, because I feel like when we have a lot of goals for ourselves that we've laid out, as good as that is, it can seem a bit daunting and grueling to like delve into them, and if we like push ourselves too hard, we can get burnt out. So I feel like we should do everything in moderation, you know, one step at a time, and really just let time take its course with this new year. And I feel like with those baby steps, we'll make a lot of progress, and that'll amount to accomplishing the goals that we anticipate to do for the new year. That's kind of how I'm going to go about this new year. And as I mentioned in my last video, my resolution is to be more grateful, so I want to incorporate like really just savoring the moment and being present. I'm not no master Oogway to like say a bunch of wise things, but yeah, I hope you guys found that like slightly providing you like some sort of comfort. I definitely want to make a lot more videos on YouTube. I have like various topics and video ideas that I want to delve into, and this was one of them, so I'm really glad that I got that out of the way. But yeah, I'm really going to take this time to just really enjoy my break, because I really need that time to just relax, and I hope that you guys will relax as well. If you guys want to give me like advice on like college stuff, because I'll be delving into that during the new year, please do so, because I'm a little stressed out because of that and feel a little pressured. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. I have petitions linked in my bio. Description. Just check out my description. I have lots of things linked there, like petitions, websites that my stories are posted on. Have a happy break, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye! Why did I do this? I meant to do this. Oh my god.